Defend yourself against DDoS attacks by hiding your true IP address with ExpressVPN, and visit my custom link expressvpn.com/ghilliemaster in the description to find out how you can get an extra 3 months free. You guys know the old saying, yeah, you can copy my homework, but just change it a little to make it look like you did something. It appears that Rockstar may not have gotten that hint. So the other day I posted my in-depth guide on the new UNEDITED supercar, the Ocelot Virtue, and in that video I talked about a seemingly bogus balancing decision in where if you equip armor plating on the vehicle, you can't use throwables anymore. Despite the windows not changing at all, they don't have any obstructions, they don't get any more protection on the windows, because if they did, that would make sense. No, for some reason, putting armor on the doors makes it so you can't throw stuff out the window, which ruins a lot of the fun in the vehicle. Well, I dug a bit more into this, and it turns out it's even worse than just a balancing decision because, no, that would require a conscious thought from them. This is even worse. From what I can see, it looks like they just took the armor code from the new Brigade 6x6, slapped it on the Virtue, and then called it a day. Because, as you guys know, the Brigade 6x6, when you put the armor plating on, the windows get a bit more armor plating, so that's why it disables throwables. And that makes sense. Now, in the game files here, this is the code for the Brigade 6x6 armor plating, and you can see the model name Brigade 2 armor, a bunch of different lines, and then at the bottom, you can see it says disable projectile drive-by value equals true. So, meaning when you put the armor plating on this vehicle, you can't use projectiles anymore. Well, now let's bring up the Virtue armor code, shall we? And the differences are highlighted for you there. You notice anything? The only thing that's different about these are the model names. Other than that, they're the exact same, even down to the formatting. All they did was copy it over from the Brigade, change the model names, and didn't even bother to test it on the Virtue. Now look, I know that in programming, right, if you have a set system that works, then a lot of the time the code can be reused for other things to save you time. Why rewrite something when you coded something before that would work just fine in that situation? I get that. But when they were testing the Virtue, you would think, all right, let me just scroll through my different weapons here. You know, let me make sure everything works, make sure all the animations look good. And then you realize, oh wait, there's no throwables on this vehicle. I can't use projectiles. Well, let's go and fix that, shall we? Maybe this was still intentional to leave this way for balancing, but I doubt it just because it's literally the exact same formatting and everything. It looks like they just copy and pasted it and then forgot about it. I also want to compare the Omnis EGT code and the Virtue code to further verify this claim, and while they do still look similar, still with most of the same lines, the main thing is at the end, the Omnis EGT doesn't have either the disabled projectiles or disabled drive-by seat lines, because on a vehicle that doesn't have its windows covered, they realize there's no point in having those lines written at all, so they're not there. Also, you'll see the lines that say disable bonnet camera and allow bonnet slide. On basically every other car mod that I looked at in the game files, including armor for those vehicles, they are set to false and true. But for some reason on the Virtue armor here, it's set to true and false. Well, guess what other upgrade has it set to true and false instead of the other way around? Oh yeah, the Brigade armor. Strange, isn't it? So you know what, I went in and changed this myself. I went into the file, looked for the Virtue armor, scrolled down to the disable projectile drive-by, and changed the true to false. And back in the game after that change, you can see we have the armor plating on the vehicle, and we can now use throwables like we should be able to again. It's that easy. Literally one line is all they have to change. One thing from true to false. And look, I get it, mistakes happen, and perhaps this was just an oversight, but the thing with oversights with GTA Online is that they only update this game like 2 to 3 times a year, so if something slips up and gets onto the live game, if and when they decide to fix the issue at all, we're going to be waiting for the summer update like 4 months from now, which is ridiculous. Take a look at Call of Duty, and I'm not saying Call of Duty is like good nowadays, like Call of Duty still has a lot of problems, but they did have an issue with the tac sprint cooldown as of their latest update, and literally the same day the update came out, they realized their mistake, and they fixed it. All within a matter of hours. Even for the biggest of issues with GTA Online, that would never happen. I still do find it hard to believe something like this could make its way past testing without someone realizing it. I mean, to me, that would be like the first thing you test when implementing a vehicle into a game like GTA, checking the drive-by mechanics, but maybe that's just me. Let's hope they make this change in the next update, which is probably going to be the summer update, as much as I would like it to be sooner. And some people might say that I'm overreacting about this, but really it's more to do with just the laziness and sloppiness of not checking something to make sure it's fine before finalizing it. The Drug Wars update has already been heavily criticized for reusing and copying stuff, just like the Entity MT sharing basically all of its handling with that of the Entity XXR, making it awful to drive, and now this, it's just lazy. Or another example, the Precision Rifle shares a lot of its mechanics with the shitty regular sniper, making it, as you guys know, a terrible weapon. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Is it laziness or a balanced decision? If you enjoyed the video or found it helpful, feel free to leave a like as well as subscribe to my channel for more GTA Online content. I want to give a huge shout out to all my channel members for your support. If you'd like to become a member for some exclusive perks, you can either use the join button or the link that's down in the description. And as always, thanks for watching and have a great day.